It's Week 12 of the NFL, and our focus is on this team's leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. Hope you're all ready for this one. And it comes your way next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Breaks through the contact.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate. That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
When you look at this defense,
well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
3rd and 20.
Back to throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Weaver. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 84 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. And that'll bring up fourth down on the big sack with a loss of 5. So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And they needed to be because our offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well, and that's what they did in their last game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at this defense,
they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky.
This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there.
His first rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The visitors' offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
They'll look to throw again.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Back to throw again.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They're going to look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll be taken down at the 18.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
That result, really no surprise. That's what we're becoming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They go play action here on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Weaver. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 32 on the play.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Point after here coming up. And it's good to make it 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 18 more yards there and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now back to throw. That is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes it 14-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle. We have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Rolling to his right. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll come up 2nd and 7.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Weaver. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the press, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
So a big chance goes by the wayside there. A tough break on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, as a general rule, you know you're usually not going to win games with field goals. But in this case, they had 3 points in their pocket. I get what he was trying to do, but that's a big swing of momentum right there.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
He'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
70 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Peters. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Peters. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
They'll set up a throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Extra point forthcoming. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
12 yards there as they move the chains. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 55 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a yard.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And
he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys have taken the lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Peters. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't.
Now 1st and goal.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he stopped immediately there. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. So a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Well, 4 quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that?
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium.
Play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Back to throw now on first down.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
So only a field goal on that opening drive of overtime. Will that hold up? We'll find out as the kick's away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? The overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that, because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for our visitors, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a loss that sets them back in